Whoa, did the time machine work?
What?
Hello, I'm Mayor Vance. Welcome to Superviviente. Is there anything I can help you with?
Hi, I'm Maddie. What happened to Erie?
Erie hasn't been called that since 2090. It's now 2256. There was an outbreak of a disease called scarlet pox, which is caused by an agricultural pest. Our citizens work day and night to create vertical farms to help destroy these pests.
Oh wow, I'm a farmer, so is that all you needed to wipe out the agricultural pest?
Hi, I'm Dr. Mullen, lead engineer in Superviviente. Antonio Rodriguez was the man that developed a vaccine for the disease while the vertical farms were being created. In fact, our biggest farming achievement yet have been those vertical farms. Our 4 vertical farms are 30 stories with 2 towers and an office in between. One tower contains soybeans and the other contains kale. Once grown and harvested, the produce is taken to our city's food co-ops along with other crops from the city.
How does the produce get to the co-ops?
Under our farms is a conveyor belt system used to transport the crops from building to building.
What about watering your plants?
Wastewater from our citizens is taken to the vertical farms where the plants take in the nutrients that they need and filter out any unwanted or harmful chemicals. Once the water is filtered, we take an extra step to ensure the safety of the water by adding chlorine tablets. Once this process is complete, the newly filtered and safe-to-use water is taken back to our citizens through pipes. This process eliminates the need for a water treatment facility.
What about fertilizing your plants?
Well, the plants take in most of the nutrients that they need from the wastewater, but we also collect compost from our citizens. Compost is taken to a facility starting at the top floor and then filtered through each of the floors where it will be broken down by worms. This is also used as fertilizer.
Who's harvesting all these plants?
Our urban harvester, my very own design, specialized for Superviviente, is a machine whose arms harvest the crops without damaging them or picking up any unnecessary leaves. A cart located on the rear of the harvester holds the crops and transferring them to the conveyor belt.
I have a harvester similar to this one back home. What makes this one so special?
This one was made smaller to fit specifically inside our vertical farms and can harvest crops much faster. It harvests a total of 2,220 servings of soybeans and 1,440 servings of kale per season. This is enough of each to meet 100% of our city's food needs.
I guess that is pretty fast. I never realized how different things would be in the future. What else is different from my time?
Our city runs completely on solar power. Buildings produce as much as 10 megawatts a day per facility. Solar panels on top of each building can rotate to follow the sun to ensure we are getting the most sunlight possible. With the help of our electrical engineers, our solar efficiency improved to 70% from an average of 30% in your time.
I don't know much about solar panels.
Solar panels are made of thousands of photocells, which are made of silicon. When sunlight hits the silicon, electrons are released, creating an electrical current. Our sidewalks also have solar panels that have curbside outlets used for charging cars, scooters, and buses.
How do they use the solar power?
In order to run, they must charge their onboard battery. When parked, all vehicles can use the curbside outlets to plug into the solar grid and recharge.
What other cool technology do you have here in Superviviente?
We have a vertical train hub used to transport citizens in and out of our city. Using gravity as a launch system, it is able to pick up speed instantly after being launched. In order to bring the trains up into the holding zone, we use a chain and latch system similar to that of a roller coaster being brought up a hill.
Enough with this boring engineer talk. Superviviente also has many interesting attractions for our citizens.
Like what?
The Star at Superviviente has one spectacular beach located on Lake Erie called Sunset Beach. We also have our softball team, the Superviviente Survivors, which they play at Erie Stadium, which can hold up to 20,000 cheering fans. We also have the History Center located in the heart of the city where citizens can go and be reminded of the world's past and how, against all odds, our city has prevailed during this outbreak. There is a rotating platform on the roof of the History Center where citizens can go and get a great scenic view of the lake or enjoy fine dining at Rodriguez Restaurant. We have many parks scattered across the city where citizens can go to enjoy a nature walk, camping overnight, or a wonderful scenic view of the lake.
What happens if anyone gets injured or sick?
We have one major hospital, Rodriguez Memorial Hospital, and several smaller hospitals located throughout the city. There our citizens receive top-of-the-line medical attention at no cost. We have healthcare. We have healthcare systems similar to the Canadian system in your time, in which citizens pay nothing. Citizens pay nothing because of the income we get from exporting and selling the scarlet pox vaccine. All that goes to our citizens' healthcare, along with free doctor and hospital visits. Citizens get vaccinated from the disease every other year until the age of 8, where they build up an immunity.
Did you consider the risk of your vertical farms when there's a natural disaster or fire, since they're all so close together?
We have an automated system underground that uses thermographic technology to censor when and where there is a fire. Think sprinkler system, only much larger. Once the fire has been detected, the sprinkler system comes up from underground and terminates the fire. We have 2 police officers for every 1,000 citizens in our city to keep our streets safe from crime. We also have a specially trained force for natural disasters. We did consider the risk of the vertical farms being so close together, but the benefits of having them close together outweigh those risks. With them so close, we were able to deliver produce to co-ops much faster, harvest the crops much faster, and it saves us land.
Okay, that does seem very beneficial. But back at home, education is a very big priority. What do you have to offer here in Superviviente?
We have 2 staff schools consisting of grades pre-K through 12th grade where students receive the best of the best in education. If they want to further their education, they can attend Superviviente University and get various types of degrees.
That all sounds fantastic and is quite the astonishment and very futuristic. I had a great time learning and hearing about it, but Mom will be wondering where I am. Supper's almost ready.
Bye, and thanks for visiting Superviviente.
Awesome.
Should we put the cards back up?
No, don't worry about it.
This one under there. No problem.
How many people live in Superviviente?
175,233.
Very specific, all right.
So you said the city's run completely on solar power. So how is the city powered at night when the sun isn't shining?
Well, like there's a thing that stores the power when the sun is not shining, so the like buildings can use it when there is no sun.
What is it that you use to store the power?
Kind of like a battery.
So the extra sunlight that we collect from the sunlight during the day will be stored in the battery to use when there is no sunlight.
So with a population of 175,233, is that right?
Yeah.
So I heard you mention buses. Is there any other form of mass transit?
We have the cars that are for individual, and we have electric scooters, and then we also have the vertical train hub, which you can use to take out through the city and mass transit. A lot of people go on the vertical train hubs.
It also brings in a lot of our exports and imports.
So how did you select soy and kale?
Our essay team, since we were broken up into different teams, they did some research on it, and they decided that soybeans and kale were the best thing. Because soybeans are very big in protein, and they can be used for multiple things like soy milk, soy burgers, all that stuff. And kale is very high in nutrients and can prevent cancer.
So you grow those 2 things in your vertical farms, and then you had mentioned some of the risks of having the farms close together. You said the benefits outweigh. What are some of the risks of having them that close together?
Natural disasters. The fire was really taken care of because of the sprinkler system, but really mostly just natural disasters, crop failure, stuff like that.
Okay.
Why did you choose Erie as your location for your city?
For Superviviente wise, we chose it because of the smallpox disease. There was an outbreak around the world, and this was more the less contaminated area for us to build that vertical farms with agricultural pests. But for our group wise, like not Superviviente wise, we chose it because of the lake, and around the lake, the area around the lake would have like fresh soil for agricultural needs, which was like the theme this year.
You said you've grown enough crops to feed your entire city. How did you determine how much you need?
So we had a lot of math for this process. What we did was we took the population that we needed and the servings that each person would need. So then we did the math for each story of our vertical farms and how many acres. There was 1 acre per story. So then how many servings would you get per acre, and then that would meet the amount of servings that you needed to feed the population.
So you've got Lake Erie next to you, so that has you a little bit limited. But what if what if something happens and everyone decides Superviviente, that's the place to be, we're moving in? How does your city allow for expansion and growth?
Well, we do get money from citizens by selling the produce in our food co-ops, and also we have taxes that gets us money. So we will build more, and then eventually we'll get more money from them from buying stuff and taxes, and we can build more. And yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned taxes. What kind of jobs are available to pay your citizens?
We have there's always jobs in the agricultural center. There's the food co-ops, you can work there. There's a lot of industrial areas, recycling centers, stuff like that.
What kind of stuff do you have in the industrial areas?
The recycling center, the processor factory.
Compost facility. We have
The vertical farms,
and university. You can work as a teacher
the
there.
schools, universities.
So you mentioned electrical engineers worked on your electrical generation needs. What other types of engineering methodologies were applied when you were developing your city?
Civil engineering, agricultural engineering.
Mainly agricultural engineering for the vertical farms, and then the civil for the infrastructure of the city.
Other than the beach and the parks, how do your citizens have a good time in Superviviente?
We have the softball field, that is very nice, and the museum, which is open 24 hours a day. You can go there. There's a restaurant on the top, and it swivels to have a nice view of the city. There is a church there. Not the church is here. There's a church there. What else?
We have the history center, softball field, parks, lake, and then there's multiple parks scattered throughout the residential area, so you always have a park to go to.
What methods of communication do you guys use in your city?
We have a satellite above our city, which citizens can communicate through that. Cell phones.
Cell phones? No crazy new technology in 2200s? Okay.
So when you were building your model, can you just kind of run through a couple of the types of materials that you use, like the recycled materials, and some of the unique ways you use that?
We used paper mache for the landscape of it, for the hills and everything. And then for the beach, we painted it, and then we used clear caulking to make sort of the waves of everything. These buildings scattered throughout are Danimal cups,